So if you're having any queries, I'll take up that. Yep, Brajesh and Garima.
No.
So now we are starting hands-on. Today we are starting hands-on. Yep, Vaibhav.
Sorry for the delay. Yeah.
It's okay. Right. Fine, then we'll just go on with development of info objects. We have little hands-on today. So let's go on with the little topic, don't worry. But you need to have hands-on, I'm telling you. Just don't keep any pending work here. At least for next 1 week, 10 days, if you can spend half an hour, if you can spend some half an hour on the system, it is good enough, I'm telling you. Next 10 days.
Sriram, Vaibhavi, I have not been shared the login credentials.
Okay, I'll talk to them. I think nobody has got this. I'll talk to the concerned party, Vaibhav.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Just you also give a call.
Yes, I'll give them a call as well.
Fine. So development of info objects. Say I want to design some sales order data model. Based on the same, we can go on with any other data model. We can go on with inventory, we can go on with purchasing, any data model similar to this. So the data model is based on extended star schema. It is based on extended star schema, where in the center we have fact table surrounded by dimension table. SID connects to master data tables. Fact table surrounded by dimension table. SID connects to master data tables. Fact table should be there with key figures. For my sales order fact table, I should have some key figures. And these are the key figures I want to create. The key figures that I would like to create for this data model. Sales quantity. Then revenue generated out of sales. Cost of the sales. Then number of items sold. These are the key figures. Then dimension table should have SID. If you want to have SID, there should be care. So these are the cares I want to create. So these are the characteristics I would like to create. Employee ID, product ID, employee ID, product ID, sales region. Since I want to go on with employee-wise analysis, employee and product-wise analysis, region-wise analysis, and sales organization-wise analysis, and country-wise analysis. So for these are the cares. For these cares, we can maintain some attributes later, like employee address, phone number, and all. I'll be coming to that. As of now, I'm creating. My objective is to create my care, that is primary column. So later I'll talk to you how to maintain attributes and all. So as part of our next session, I'll be taking up that, like product name, group, like this. Whatever attributes you want to maintain, I'll show you that. So as of now, concentrate on creation of chars and key figures. Creation of chars and key figures. So in order to create chars and key figures, these are the configuration steps. These are the steps to be configured. First one, create info area. Value. The second one, create info object catalog. Create info object catalog. Catalog for char and catalog for key figures. That's it. I'll tell you one by one. Then under char catalog, we can create required chars. Under key figure catalog, we can create required key figures, whatever we want to create. So this design with respect to sales, same process can be followed for other applications also. Same process can be followed. We can make use of same process for the other applications as well. Let us do this. So first let me tell you what is info area. Hope you can hear me. So info area is the root node of any application. It is the root node of any application. Like when you're going on with sales, with respect to sales, one info area, like sales orders. When you're going on with materials, one more info area, like materials. One application or one subject area has one info area. So we can manage everything using this. So using this, we can manage all the info providers and info objects of the application. That's what. So we'll create one by one, don't worry, I'll show you. Let me go ahead the other one. Info object catalog. It is nothing but grouping of the objects. It is grouping of the info objects. Using char catalog, we can create chars. And by using key figure catalog, we can create key figures. By using char catalog, we can create chars, and by using key figure catalog, we can create key figures. That's right.
Sriram, single
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Alright. Grouping is an optional thing or a mandatory thing?
Mandatory. The char should be created under char catalog. Key figure should be created under key figure catalog.
Okay. Another thing. See, you were talking about different dimensions along which the analysis can be done, and there can be few chars which will be used in different all the dimensions. So then we will
That's what
place
the
them
advantage of SID, na, Vaibhav?
Yes, I remember that discussion. But what I want to ask is, how will we decide? Say, for example, employee. We need to know which employee made the sales. We also need to know, say, for example, which employee was producing this particular material which was sold. So this employee information will be kept under sales, or it will be kept under material management, or it can be kept under any.
Wherever it is kept, it doesn't matter because of your SID. The master data can be shared among all the applications.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. That's what the master data need not to be duplicated. That is the advantage of your SID. If it is a general star schema, master data duplications will be there across the applications. Now, you don't have that problem because of your SID table. Only SID is duplicated. Bible.
Yes, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any application, one set of master data. Employee might be there in HR, employee might be there in marketing also. It doesn't matter, same set of master data for all the applications. I'll get more clear picture when we are designing InfoCube. Right. See, keep in mind our data model is based on this. When you are creating cares, what happens here? This is your SRD table, which connects to master data tables, which includes attribute table, text table, and hierarchy tables. So when you are creating cares, system is going to generate these tables now. I'll show you that, don't worry. Let me concentrate on designing of this. Then we'll go on one by one. I'll show you every table relations. We'll make it out. Let's go on here. I've given all this information. Client is non-IDS client. This is user. I'm using super user. In the live, you're not allowed for that. And password is case sensitive. Now let's say one transaction code. And you can see we are trying to create info objects now. We are trying to create info objects. So let's go on with info objects and right click on root node info objects. Right click on root node info objects, then you can go on with create info area. So asking some technical name. Here you have to maintain some name, followed by here you have to maintain some description. So let's do it one by one. So I'll tell you. So I'm just going by some project. Z, the generic object should be prefixed with Z. I'll tell you all the naming conventions. We'll come to that. And I'm making it as Nestle sales orders. So what is this naming conventions? Let me explain you. For every object, we need to maintain some naming convention as per the business guidelines. So here, let me give you some naming conventions information. I just want to give you naming conventions. The generic objects should be prefixed with Y or Z. The generic object should be prefixed with Y or Z, and industry always it practices Z. Mandatory. We cannot start the technical name by using number. Only in the first letter. By using number, since they are reserved for SAP. We cannot start technical name by using numbers since they are reserved for SAP. I told you already, 0 is reserved for SAP BW, 9 is reserved for APO, 8 is reserved for data marts, 6 is reserved for database objects like this. And except underscore, no other special chars are allowed in the technical name. Except underscore, no other special chars are allowed in the technical name. Means only underscore is allowed. Right. No, you cannot duplicate the technical name, means same technical name cannot be used anywhere. So you cannot duplicate the technical name. It should be unique since the objects are stored in the database tables by using technical name. So here I'm just using some name here, Z for generic. NE as project name, that's NSLay as my project name. Then SD for application. And I'll be using some short forms. You need not to follow same standards. There will be some guidelines like this. As per that, we need to go on. Info area. I'll be using one more, info object catalog, and CH for char, and KF for key figures. So these are the just naming conventions I'll be using, and once you are onto the project, you'll be having some guidelines with the project documentation with respect to this. As per that, we need to follow the naming conventions. So here you can see, I'll just quickly repeat. So I'm talking about info objects. Right click on root node info objects, create info area. Asking the technical name, followed by description. So go on with continue. Just click on continue. Now you can scroll down. You can see this is your info area. This is your info area. Right click on info area now, and you can see that create info object catalog. I need to go on with second step. So we have just created info area. Now I need to create info object catalog for characteristic. Right click on info area, and you can see that create info object catalog. This is the naming I'm following, and the description I'm just making it as char catalog. The description I'm making it as char catalog. Object type is char. Object type is characteristic. That is important. Object type is important to you. And go on with create. And see, as of now, the object is created under application layer. If you want to use the object, any object, it should be there in database layer. So means to say we need to do something called commit, nothing but activate here. Just nothing to do, activate once. So from application layer, the object is saved to database layer. You can see that now. So if you want to see, you can see here info area followed by char catalog. Similarly, we need to create our key figure catalog. Right click on info area, create info object catalog. This time I want to make it as key figure catalog. So earlier it was char, since we were creating char catalog. Now this time it is key figure. just go on with create and go on with activate. Just go on with activate. So you can see here, this is your info area followed by care catalog followed by key figure catalog. Now I just want to go on with cares followed by key figures. I want to create some cares and I want to create some key figures. Cares like this I want to create. And one more care, very importantly, I want to create some sales drop number. Sales drop number. So now if you want to create care catalog, if you want to create care, right click on cares, care catalog. If you want to create key figures, right click on key figure catalog. So first let us create cares, right click on care catalog. You can see the option create info objects. Create info object. So making it as ZNE, only one I'm using. So SD I'm not using now since all are under sales info area. So first I'm using sales doc number. There is something called template and reference which I'll be talking to you later. Template can copy the structure of other object. A reference can copy the data as well. Structure and data both. Template can copy only the structure. Reference can copy the data of the other object. We'll come to that, don't worry. Just go on with continue. So when you're creating any column, data type is mandatory. That's what it is asking. So document number I'm using num_c, length of 10, max you can go on with 60. F4. Max length is 60. You can see here. I'm going by 10 digit number. Go on with activate. So it is activating your characteristic. It takes little time. What is happening in the background, I'll tell you when you're creating this. Now all these objects, they are given by the business, which cares, which key figures. We need to go through the business process. I was telling you now, as we study requirement gathering. So as part of this, the core team decides upon that. And you can see the document number is created. Now let us create one more. Right click again, create info object. So I'm going by employee ID. Continue. Data type num_c, length of 10. Click on activate. So now in the schema, what system is generating? Master tables. So if you look at your schema, I'll show you. Now employee master tables are generated. SID table as well as employee master tables. I'll show you now. You can see here, this is your SID table. Only table structure is generated when we upload master data. The SID table is filled. Just double click on this if you want to see the table. You can see employee ID, nothing but our business key, and SID system generated key. There are other flags, don't worry, we'll talk about that. We don't require as of now. Employee ID followed by SID. And even you can see here, this is your text table. I told you what is text, double click. So you can see care followed by language, followed by short text. And see, you can see here P table, M table, and even. So these are the attribute tables. This is your text table. This is SID table and attribute tables, text table, and even hierarchies. If you enable this, we'll get that. So what is happening in the schema, system is generating these tables. So these tables are created now for employee only. Similarly, when I create product, the product master tables are generated. When I upload product master data, those tables are filled. Let me do this. Any question, anybody? Create info object. Any question? Product ID. Data type num_c. Excuse me. Gone with activate. So now you can see here product master. Again SID table and text table for product, attribute table for product. You can see that. Right click again. Create info object. Whatever you want to create, we can create. Sales region. Data type char. Length of 12. Activate it. So again I create. Continue. Data type char. Length of 12. Activate it. You can see, right click, char catalog, making it as country, char, length of 12, gone with activate. You can see that. Anything, Vaibhav?
Yes, Sriram, it is possible you might have explained it in previous class. I missed it. But can you just repeat real quick what actually happens when we are activating it? What is its significance?
Activating is committing to the database. When you create a table,
Oh,
when you create a table
okay,
in SQL, first it creates under application layer, right?
okay,
It is when you activate, it is going to be committed to the database.
okay. Thank you.
Yep. So now let us create key figures. So right click on key figure catalog, create info object. This time I'm creating sales quantity. Click on continue and you can see these are the standard data types using quantity, and quantity should be followed with units using one SAP delivered column, that is 0 unit. One SAP delivered column, that is 0 unit. Now just go on with activate. That's it. The quantity is created. For fact table we are creating this. Once again right click, create info object, making it as revenue, sales revenue, continue, data type amount, should be followed with currency. 0 currency I'm using. I'm using 0 currency. Click on activate. That's it. Revenue is created. Right click once again. Create info object. Cost. Making it as sales cost. Continue. Amount column should be followed with currency again. Then activate. So these are all for fact table I'm creating. As of now, fact table is not yet created. So see here, if you look at your schema, these tables are created when you are creating your cache. And when you create your info cube, these tables are generated, fact table and dimension table. So for the dimension table, manually we are going to place cache, but system will take SID. So this SID connects to your SID table, in turn it connects to master tables. I told you now the transaction data is loaded to fact table and dimension table, which connects to master table using SID tables. Right. So let us go on one more. So right click again, create info object, number of items sold, just a number, activate. That's it. So this is how you need to create your cares and key figures. What is that we can do with respect to materials? Try this. Purchasing application with respect to purchasing. So try to create purchase order number, material ID, plant ID, vendor ID, gone with purchase organization. The key figures like purchase quantity, value delivered, value received, number of deliveries. So these are the things. So these are the different things. So try them and I'll continue tomorrow remaining things.
Hi, Sriram.
Yep.
Can you come to the RSA1 T code?
1 second. I'm coming. Okay.
When we created the chars, the characteristics,
Okay.
then can you click one of them, country, let's say.
Okay.
The data element is also created /BIC
Yeah, because of data element, the data type and length is coming, Garima. How come this data type is coming? Because of data elements.
But when we created, then we just chose one of the data types, and the
Yes.
data element was created at the background, right?
Yes, in the background. That includes domain and the length. Domain is data type and length again.
Okay, but in case of key figure, nothing was created.
It's
the
going to be
background.
it's going to be default standard length. It's going to take it out. I think it is around some 15 digits. We are not worried. System will take care of that. System will take care of that. Don't worry. It's going to be only data type here. We are mentioning.
Why is it that we don't need any data element in this key figure?
In this case, here we are mentioning the data type. in the background something is going to go on. No? It is also a column, to be frank, Garima.
Yeah.
So the length
That's
is,
what I was
for
wondering.
every column, data type and length are mandatory, right?
Right.
So the length is taken care by the system. Automatically it inserts the length, standard lengths for key figures. Regarding decimals and all, we can
Yeah.
specify.
Here you can see there is a data element. See? BIC.
System will take care. The length and all you can see here 17.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether there is a data element created in case of key figure also. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is also created.
And you can see there are some decimal places and all. How many number of decimals for key figures like revenue, number of decimals, how you want to display. Like this, there are some properties we'll come across. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sriram, can you send the text for today?
Give me one second. So right then, all of you.